Thanks, Nancy.
Well, camp season is almost here, and if kids aren't signed up just yet, well, get this, not too late. But for parents, finding the right camp for their kids can be quite the challenge. Our next guest is here to help. Heltay runs a company that trains over 50,000 camp counselors every year, and he joins us now from downtown Toronto. So, Evan, I would have thought it's almost June now. I would have thought it's almost too late, but you're saying not so? You could still get your kids in camp?
Absolutely, Nancy. There's still many camping opportunities for children available, and they can do a lot of research by going on the web to a variety of different sites to research camp opportunities. I highly recommend the Canadian Camps Association website, or fantastic websites like Camp Page or mysummercamps.com that list thousands of camps globally.
Okay, obviously there's lots of information out there and presumably lots of choices, but if I'm a newbie, I've not done this before, and I'm sussing out all this great research, what am I looking for? What do I need to be thinking about, or the kind of questions I'm asking when I wade through all the research?
Well, I think it's very important to discuss this with your child. So it's important that they're involved in the decision themselves, and then you've got to make some very obvious decisions. How long do you want to send your child away for camp?
Right.
Do you want the camp to be somewhere very close by, or is geography not so important? Do you want them to attend a co-ed camp, or do you want them to go to a same-sex camp? These are some of the basic things that you'll have to also have an idea of. Also, do you want them to go to a traditional camp or a specialty camp? These are some of the basic questions that I think are key to making that decision.
Okay, are there any warning signs or telltale signs either of a bad camp or just a bad fit for your kid?
Sure. I think that as long as you're talking to your child about the opportunity and they're involved in the decision, it'll assist them significantly. In addition to that, in terms of a bad decision or avoiding a bad decision, you know, try to find camps, if you're able to, that are accredited summer camps. That'll give them some assistance. So there are governing bodies both in Canada and the United States that will give you some direction in that situation. And I also think you want to speak directly with the camp director.
Right.
The camp director, at the end of the day, is the individual that is responsible for the safety and well-being of your child. So if you have an opportunity to speak with them, or perhaps if you're even fortunate enough to go and visit the camp, that'll give you a great insight into the quality of camp and ensure that they have a similar sense of how they want to raise children.
You know, the camp experience has changed so much over the years, hasn't it, Evan? I mean, you know, it used to be that camps were pretty much generic. You know, it was celebrating the great outdoors and kids enjoying the company of each other and, you know, under the guidance of counselors. But it seems that things have become way more specialized, or certainly there's so much more out there. How have camps changed?
Well, the first camps in history, the first camp was actually in 1861. It was called the Gunnery School. So camps have been around for a very long time. More recently, in the last 20 or 30 years, we've seen a greater movement towards specialized camps. So instead of that sort of utopian idea that you talked about, which is where everyone's out canoeing and sleeping under the stars and, you know, making s'mores, which is great fun.
Right.
And those are phenomenal camps, and thank goodness we have many of those still available. There are a lot of specialty camps, and those are camps that are specific to athletic pursuits, arts, culinary, all kinds of different things that might interest children or adults.
Very interesting. Very quickly, are there camps for adults?
Yes, thank goodness there are. I've had the pleasure of attending a couple myself. I went to a phenomenal surfing summer camp that was a lot of fun just a couple of years ago. But there's a variety of different camps for adults. It's not just for children. Children can have fun. Adults can have fun. In fact, a lot of adults plan their adult camp experience around the same time that their children are going off to camp. So there's a variety of things. You can find things that are sports related. There are fantasy sports camps, so you can play with, you know, former major leaguers. You can go to culinary camps and cook with some of the rising stars of the culinary world. There are spa retreats. There are yoga retreats. There's a great mix of things that are out there and available for people to pursue. Wow,
sounds like lots of fun. Evan, great to talk to you. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure, Nancy. Thanks so much.
Much more still to come. Stay with us.
What's so special about web browsing on the new BlackBerry Playbook? That's right, it runs Flash. So, unlike some tablets we could mention, you get the best of the internet, not just part of it.
Powerful, portable Playbook.